The nostalgia filter by Prism Lens FX. I'm just gonna jump straight into it. What a lens filter. It's that good, it has changed the way I approach my portraits and it has gotten me extremely unique results on digital. I love it that much, I got 2 of them. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you how it changed my portrait photography for the better and maybe why you should consider buying it. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, my name is Joe, welcome to the Genius of Joe. Today guys, we'll be discussing, well, you know what we'll be discussing, the nostalgia filter by Prism Lens FX. Prism Lens FX, this is an amazing lens filter company that sells and makes special effects lens filters, and it's great for those unique in-camera looks. They're a fairly new company, and by fairly new, I mean a decade old, but for a company that's in the film and photography industry, that is quite new, and I'm going to tell you why their products are amazing and you should definitely check them out. But if you don't know me already, my name is Joe, of course. I'm a professional portrait photographer based in Birmingham, UK, and I strive to have other portrait photographers like yourself not only improve, but make distinctive and creatively fulfilling work. So if you're interested in that, feel free to subscribe to the channel, and once I've gained your trust, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program, where I'll personally go on calls with you, I'll go over your portrait work, and I'll answer any concerns that you have of your portrait photography. So if that's interesting to you guys, top links in the description so you can check it out and learn more. I wanted to make this video and talk about this lens filter because I know a lot of you like that more vintage and soft look, so this lens filter may be for you. I first bought this lens filter back in March 2024 for my Canon RF 85mm f2 because I wanted to experiment with different looks in my photography, so I thought this lens filter would be perfect, would be a perfect start. And guess what guys, the first few shoots I did with this lens filter, they were impeccable in my opinion. What this lens filter essentially does is it balloons the highlights up a little bit to make them look nice and soft and film looking, and it gives off this nice, subtle and flattering roll off from the highlights itself. So for really harsh highlights in your photos, it doesn't actually look bad with this lens filter. It actually looks really nice with it. So if you're gonna use it, you should embrace it really. And on top of that, it has this soft and subtle layer of pro mist, which obviously just gives this overall soft image in your photos. And it's also great because it makes your model look more flattering and attractive because you're smoothing out the skin tone a little bit. I noticed this lens is used best when you want to shoot in quite high contrasted lighting situations and scenarios, especially if there's a lot of bright parts in the image and the model is wearing jewelry too. If the model is wearing jewelry and you like to use hard lighting and the light is reflecting off the jewelry itself, it will create this lovely and amazing and exaggerated glow that just makes it look sexy as fuck. For example, I did a photo shoot for a clothing brand about a month or so back, and one of the models, she was wearing this gold chain necklace, and for some of the shots, the light was glistening off the necklace, and because I had the nostalgia filter on it, it had that nice exaggerated glow. It made it glisten, it made it look really fucking good. And it created this heavenly and just unique look in my photos. And by the way, if you want to learn how I lit those shots, guys, I have a full video where I broke down how I lit it, how I shot it, all that type of stuff. If you want to check that out, obviously I'll put that up there.
It was all so simple. If I really want it, then I got it. More than profit, melanin glow. Watch me rise and flow.
I think this lens filter is perfect if you're looking for that more subtle effect on your photos, and it isn't too stylized and crazy where it's super obvious that you have some sort of lens filter on it, but it's more subtle where you can barely tell there's anything on it, and it almost looks like film in a way, because at the end of the day, the reason why I bought this lens filter is because on digital, it looks too sterilized, it looks too clean for me. Obviously you may like that look, but for me, I don't really like that super clean look, so this nostalgia filter kind of just dirties the image up a little bit and just makes it look much nicer for my work.
I just want to quickly interject here while I'm editing this video. It just depends on the theme or the story that you're trying to tell in your photos to decide whether or not you want to actually use the nostalgia filter. It's not something that you're going to use on every single photo shoot, of course, because I showed you examples of shoots that I've done without the lens filter, and I think it works perfectly for that, right? I think if I had the nostalgia filter on, then it would have been distracting. It would look kind of weird looking. So it really just goes down to what is that theme, what is that story, what is that I don't know, personality you're trying to tell in your photos, and then you can decide whether or not you want to use the filter. So I wouldn't say, oh, the digital look is super sterilized and everything like that. Like, I think it is very too clean for most situations, but for some situations, like the examples I showed you, I think it's worked completely fine. I don't think you have to use a filter like this on every single photo shoot. I think I will say in the video that Spoiler alert, I will say in the video that you could use it on every photo shoot, but again, it just depends what your style is. Do you like that dreamy look in every single one of your photos? Because I like that dreamy look in some of my photo shoots. I don't think I like it in every single one. So for some photo shoots, like the examples I showed you, that dreamy look didn't work, and I think like a promise filter like that wouldn't really make sense, so I just wouldn't use it. So again guys, like I say in all my videos, go back to that story, go back to that theme. What are you trying to tell in your photo shoot? And you can decide whether or not you want to use a filter like this, because don't just blindly use it on every single photo shoot because I told you that it's a nice subtle effect, because it might not fit your next photo shoot. Maybe it's perfect for your next photo shoot. Maybe it's like the best thing, it would elevate your photo shoot, but in some situations it may actually be a detriment to your photos, so you shouldn't use it, or it may be like not the best choice. So decide whether or not you want to use a lens filter like this. Don't use it for every single photo shoot, especially if it doesn't fit the theme that you're going for. Yeah, I'll go back to the park me now and I'll continue editing this video.
Like for example, the Moody FX filter by the same company, Prism Lens FX, that is the complete opposite of subtle, right? It has this crazy starburst effect on it, where it's like crazy flares and everything, and it also has a very strong promise filter on it. So that is definitely more stylized. I'd only use that for very specific shoots and specific photo concepts. But on the other hand, the nostalgia filter, you could see yourself using that lens filter on every single shoot that you do, or at least 99% of your shoots. You could just put it on your lens and just never take it off. Shit, even for me, when I did that shoot for the clothing brand, that was supposed to be a more commercialized look, yet I still used the lens filter and the clients love the photos. So imagine using it for your more personal and creative work. Like if I could use it on a clothing brand shoot where we've played clients and people telling me what they want, imagine using it on your own shoots where you're the creative director. It's up to you what photos that you want. Guys, you can use it for everything. One thing that I find kind of weird is obviously I have two nostalgia filters here. This 67mm one and this 82mm one. For some reason, this one has a much stronger pro mist effect than this one. It's just kind of weird how this one's like a bit more mistier if that's the word, than this one. But I think it's probably because when I bought this one, I didn't actually buy it straight from Prism Lens FX. I bought it second hand on eBay for a heavily discounted price. That's why I bought it. But not as if this one was fake or anything like that. I know it wasn't fake because it came in the original packaging and basically everything, right? But it's probably because when I bought this one, this is probably a much older version of the nostalgia filter compared to this one. This is probably obviously the newer version, so if you are going to buy this lens filter, expect it to get like this amount of mist on it, not this amount. But the new one is still really fucking good. Obviously I've used this one mainly then compared to this one. I used this back in March. I got this one in September, so I used that from March. I used this one on the 85mm specifically from March till September, and then from then on I've used this lens, this one here, for the 24-70 that I have. So basically all my photo shoots for the last few months have probably used this lens filter. Something else that you may have noticed in this lens filter is this warmer, more yellow tint to it. Yes, meaning if you do have this lens filter on, it's going to look like you shot out a warmer Kelvin or white balance. But I personally don't like that look, so I counteract it and I shoot at around 4700 Kelvin to basically go back to white. Because like I said, I like that more subtle effect. So if it was orange on top of that or yellow on top of all these other effects on it, it's gonna look too stylized for me. And yeah, I like that more dirty look, but not like too crazy, too dirty and too vintage look, you know what I mean? I like that more, again, subtle effect. It's still clean and looks good, but it has that uniqueness and character to it. But yeah guys, an overall great lens filter if you're looking for that more subtle and not crazy look in your photos. And even if you have a client or you have clients who like that more commercial look, that don't like that, look at that more clean look, they don't really like that more stylized and crazy look, even then still consider using this lens filter, because they may like that subtle little glow in the photos or the glisten from the highlights off the jewelry or whatever, because there's nothing wrong with experimenting, you know. How do you know your client isn't going to like it until you put it on? For the clothing shoot, for example, that I did, initially for the first couple of shots, I didn't actually have this lens filter on because I had that assumption that, okay, I need to get that more clean look. I don't want to put that on there because it's more commercial. But then I actually just put it on and it just looked 10 times better with it on. I literally remember on the shoot, the clothing brand, like the owner, was looking at the camera and looking at the photos, going, "Oh my God, I love that glow. I love that little glisten in the photos. That's amazing." And I'm like, "How do you do that?" And I'm like, "This thing right here," you know what I mean? So after telling you everything to do with this lens filter, do you want this lens filter? If you like that more surreal and film look, this lens filter is probably for you. And if you do plan on getting this lens filter or any Prism Lens FX filters for that fact, guys, use my Ivor's old discount code for 15% off. Use the code FILMJD at checkout for 15% off all Prism Lens FX orders. Not only do I get a small commission from that if you use my code, but also you get a nice discount from Prism Lens FX products. So it's a win-win situation here. I win, you win. So if you do plan on buying it, use my code because I'm amazing, right? And also use my affiliate link as well, which is also linked below. I'm not sponsored, by the way. They didn't pay me to make this video. I'm just a part of their affiliate program, so I get a discount code and an affiliate link. So obviously if you want to use that and I get commission from it, yeah. Also, there's no limit and expiration date for my discounts code, so you can use it as much as possible, use it anytime you want. That's the advantage of it. I just think their products are amazing, so just feel free to check them out. And because I remember I made the Pro Mist video, I talked about the Moody FX filter. I basically reviewed that lens filter in that video, and some guy commented something like, "Oh, this is a glorified ad. You're sponsored. Like, did they pay you to make this?" Like, that was my fault because I didn't mention in the video that I'm not sponsored, but in this video I'm going to specifically mention I am not fucking sponsored by these guys. I don't benefit that much. The only thing I benefit is, I guess, you can use a discount code and stuff, but I don't really benefit from making this video. And even in that video I did talk about disadvantages and why there's some parts of it that I don't like about that lens filter. I'm not some shill for Prism Lens FX. I just love their products. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys found this useful, and I hope that I plugged you on a new way to approach your portrait photography, because this lens filter changed the way I approach my portrait photography for the better. So yeah, I'm gonna pass it on to you guys. And by the way, sorry if the audio right now sounds a bit weird, or at the start of the video it sounded a bit weird. Guys, it's so fucking windy out here, and you probably could hear, it's fucking windy as shit. You probably hear all the wind, so I'm putting the little noise cancelling setting on my lav mic so you don't hear that wind. So sorry if the audio sounds a bit weird. And also guys, if you want more personal advice about your portrait photography, you want to go on calls with me, you want me to critique your portrait work, answer any concerns that you have with your portrait photography, top links in the description is my one-to-one portrait photography coaching program. Like I said in the intro, I'll go on calls with you, I'll critique your portrait work, go over your portfolio, tell you how you can improve your portrait work, all that type of stuff. I've helped countless portrait photographers on this program, so if you want to be one of those portrait photographers, top links in the description so you can check it out and learn more. And also don't forget to check out my free masterclass on how to find models to shoot with. So if you're struggling right now to finding models and networking with models, and you want to start building your portfolio and creating some cool work with some cool models, guys, the link to the description below is that guide, so if you want to check that out, obviously that is linked below. Anyway guys, that is it. Click on any of these videos here to learn more about portrait photography, and I'll see you next time guys. Goodbye.